Here we are again. Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, Abingdon, Virginia. Yesterday I got this file room cleaned out completely. Everything's staged, ready to go to Johnson City. This morning I got me my last scrap loaded up. Then they started giving me a bunch of crap about wasn't going to pay me and everything. So I clocked in, clocked out, then I reconsidered and clocked back in again. And I've been working on this back room. Boxing up parts and hardware. All these boxes were boxed up, parts and hardware. And that's the scrap that I put on the trailer this morning. Not much of nothing, just a little bit of remainder. This room I got completely cleaned out the ditches, got the crap from around the side of the building here. Everything's up. That's Michael's stuff he wanted. That's my stuff for scrap. And put some junk in the dumpster. Throwed all that crap away. I forgot them little drill bits, but yeah. Anyway, first Michael says that he's going to pay me for the hours. Then he tells Jason that I was only getting paid last week in scrap money, but he specifically told me to keep up with my hours. And now he's trying to renege and say I misunderstood him. But yet I've got timesheets that proved that I was here working, and I got the text message that says that I was allowed to have that scrap. And I don't know. But anyway, I got all these shelves so far. Remember from the previous videos, these shelves have been emptied down completely. Here are these. And I run out of boxes. It's like 11:45 and I've run out of boxes. So I'm just documenting everything. And you know, Michael did say that he did say keep up with your hours, I'm still gonna pay you. And you know, he did say in text message that he was gonna give me the scrap metal. But he told me he would pay me to keep up with my hours after I texted him. He said he was still gonna pay me. So I took that he would, but if he don't, that's another thing. There's been certain things done to me here that I have not mentioned, and this might not be the place to do it. But if I have to, I will. But anyway, I was hired here as a lead installer back in 2008. And Doug Miller took over after Danny Browning left, and the place went to hell. It's been falling to hell all ever since. The owners of this company never took interest in the associates other than to see how much profit you made for the year. That was the very last Christmas party. very last Christmas party when Larry was alive. And those are all the people that worked here. But I've got to that point. Jason's not here at all. He's out running the company van, doing side jobs, installs, and he says he's not getting paid. But let's see if he's even on the clock. Okay, that's mine for today. And that would be 21st of June. That's his last week. That's mine for last week. Allie came by yesterday, sat around in the shop. We both were discussing that we had not got paid our vacation hours. I left Michael this note, so when he brings the payroll, he'll get the note, and hopefully he'll be fair with me and pay me everything he owes me. What else? That's his bullshit for today, I'll bet you. Yeah, this is his today. I am sure. But anyway, today is June 20th. June the 20th. No, June 21st. June 21st. So that is correct. I thought I had a future here, but I thought wrong. This company always treated me very, very badly. Very badly. I was forced to work with asbestos on a job with Shirley Wagner's house in Emory, Virginia, or Glade, Virginia, whichever one it is, over by the railroad tracks. And I had an injury in my eye where I got metal in my eye, and I had to fork out money on the job injury to my eye, and they made me suffer with that for 3 days before they decided to even throw in any money. And then I went to the eye doctor, and I still had to pay part of that. And then one time I was doing some plumbing above my head, and some purple primer spilt into my eyeball. And I let the girl at the office know that I got purple primer in my eye. And she told me, hey, you ought to be more careful next time. I done told you to take care of your eyes. And since then, my eyes have deteriorated. My knees. I've been injured many, many times on the job where I should have went to the doctor and nobody allowed me to go. And then standing right here in this back room one day, I was here and I was playing a YouTube video of chalkboard scratching, and Allie was right here and she's like, turn it off, turn it off. And I was standing over there, And she said, turn it off, turn it off. And everybody was laughing. And I was like, what? And then she said, turn it off. The next thing you know, she picked up a bottle of Gatorade on this desk. And she throwed it at me. And hit me right in the back of the neck. Right here. And as I went down to the ground, I turned and I looked with my shoulders, and Jason was like, I didn't see nothing. So they denied that it ever happened. I think Dave Hancock was here, and he denies that he seen it. The very first day that I was here, the very first week that I was here, I was out here unloading the van, and there was a boy named Les Roberts that worked here that said something to Dave. And Dave come up to me telling me, hey, you better tell Les if he breaks my teeth or something like that, that he was going to be something this and something that. And I was like, well, that has nothing to do with me. And then next thing you know, Dave said, me and you's going to fight. And Dave hated me ever since, and he gave me a bunch of shit. Because I didn't start no shit, because I just got the job here and I wanted it to work out. And the first job that I had, nobody here as a supervisor, they were all just acting like they didn't know what the hell to do. So I was doing the job busting my ass, and these people were like, no, we're not going to do nothing. So I told them, I said, look, I went in there and talked to Danny. I said, if it's going to be that way, then I'll still work here, but I ain't going to be no supervisor, because if these people ain't going to help me, I don't want nothing to do with it. And that was that. I stepped down, continued working here since 2008. And then on another job, the Hamby job, I was forced to be laid off for 3 weeks because somebody seen me come out of a bathroom in the house where other contractors were working, and the girl's iPod was missing. So they questioned me about it, and I didn't know nothing about it, and I swear to God I never seen it, touched it, or took it. And they laid me off for 3 weeks until the job was done, where I had to call in every day to see if I could work, see if there's any work. And I couldn't work because they were still working on that same job, and they didn't want me on that job. And Bill was a known thief. He was a known thief. Bill eventually got busted right here at this door, and they started going through all of his tools to make sure he wasn't stealing company stuff. But they fired him. They fired him for doing side jobs. Bill got a side job, and he asked me, did I want to work Saturday? And I didn't know no better. I didn't know it was his job, and it was a side job. I didn't know. I thought it was a company job. Bill come and get me at the damn trailer in the company truck, put me out on a damn job site. Then I sat there and did all the work while Bill took off. And bunch of shit went down over that. And Danny said, I'd fired you, but you didn't sign your handbook, blah, 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 so I can't fire you. And I was like, well, I didn't know nothing about that. Well, Danny and them was like, well. Then they was all hateful. very hateful people, very, very unfriendly. But there used to be a Coke machine right where that orange thing is, and snacks. But they used to have Cokes in this refrigerator. You get Cokes out of that refrigerator. Then they had snacks in here with an Honest John box you put money in. Well, them boys started taking Cokes and snacks and not paying for it. And they was missing all that stuff, the money, and they was like, well, who got it? Who's been taking this money? And Danny's like, gentlemen, we have a thief among us. And them fuckers were trying to blame me, which it wasn't me. I think it was Les and Chris. Because when we was at a hotel, both of them had hotel in Christiansburg. Both of them had stole door handles for the hotel rooms. They stole that. And they was making fun about the iPod thing, and I got it on video somewhere. But they've worked me like a dog here. And these other people that hired in, they weren't worked like a dog. They had it nice and easy. I'm not the most talkative person. I'm like a recluse. And I tried to stay busy, but, you know, they'd take advantage of it. And all them years, I'd cut that copper up, scrap all that metal, and I would give that stuff. We'd had to divide it between all the people that worked here, except for the management, and they never pitched in an hour and a half, 2 hours a year, you know, trying to get this thing cleaned up, clean up the yard, clean up the scrap. They never helped me, but they put their hand out to get that damn money. And I'm going to tell you what, it's a bad feeling when you work like a damn slave for other people to take advantage of you. And it's a bad feeling when you get hurt on the job and you don't get medical attention. It's a bad feeling when you get accused of stealing and get laid off, where you got a wife to support making $10 an hour. I only made $13.90 an hour after 13 and a half plus years here. I started at 10 and I went up to $13.90 after 13 and a half years plus here. And people started in after me at $16 an hour or more. And when I came here, I asked for $15 an hour to start. Oh no, we can't do that. We can't do that. And they would never give me raises and give me like 24, 26 cents a year. My first year, they gave me $1 raise. After that, it was all nope, nope, nope. And I went in that office one day. I was behind a guy named Carlos Artidello. Anyway, me and Carlos was buddies. Carlos was from Florida, and I lived in Florida too. Carlos went in here jokingly to Danny's office, and I was standing right here because I had no business in Danny's office. And Carlos said, Danny, I got a problem with Richard. And Danny looked at Carlos and he said, Carlos, I don't care if you kick his ass. I don't care what you do with Richard. Kick his ass for all I care. I don't like him. And I was standing right here and I heard what he said. But that's the appreciation you get for being a hard worker. That's the appreciation you get. It doesn't pay to be nice, and it doesn't pay to bust your ass. I'll tell you right now, I learned that here for sure. And if there was any form of discriminating or any form of not taking proper care, giving me medical attention when I needed it, this place did it. This place screwed me over many a times. Many a times. But it's over. Maybe this is God's way of getting me out of this because I was never going nowhere here. But, you know, I'll tell you what. I'm kind of glad that it's over. And now, after I've done work and stuff, Michael tells me, you can have this scrap metal. Oh yeah, I'm going to pay you. Yeah, I'm going to pay you. I'm still going to pay you. Keep track of your hours, punch in and out. Well, why would I punch in and out? The man tells me to punch in and out. Why would I punch in and out? And then the man tell me, no, I'm not paying you for them hours that you was scrapping, because I was doing that all last week. And that's the last little bit that I got on this morning. And now he's going to tell Jason, because Jason went crying to him, because me and Michael had a deal where I texted him and asked him, could I have all this scrap and I would get rid of it. And I would do it for the scrap. And then he told me, he says, no, I'm still going to pay you under the table. Because, you know, he didn't want us to, he's a liar, I think. But, he was saying stuff like, yeah, I'm going to get rid of Allie and keep you and Jason as long as I can, blah, blah, blah. And then the same day he got rid of Allie, he got rid of me. And then he's like, well, keep track of your hours. I'll pay you under the table. And when I pay you under the table, you go file unemployment. And that way you won't miss any paychecks, because I'll be paying you every week. And I took it to mean that the man was going to pay me for the time there, because he's a multimillionaire. He's a multimillionaire, and I figured that was giving me those hours was part of my severance pay and all this and that. But apparently, he tells little Jason that it's not going to be that way, and I misunderstood him. And I did not misunderstood him, because he emphatically told me, I want you to clock in and out, because I'm still going to pay you. Well, I guess little Jason didn't like the fact that I busted my ass to get that copper money. And God let me have it all for the last year that I was here. Well, some people don't want you to get blessed, so they're going to pitch a fit about it and bellyache and cry. And I tell you what, that boy asks me every time I come in here, how much you make, how much you make. I said, don't ask me that, because it ain't none of your business. Well, I can call up there and let them know. And I guarantee you, he probably did call up there, and they probably did tell him what I made. And it's none of his fucking business, and it's none of them people's business to be telling that over the phone. So that's how the world works. It's very unfair. It's very unkind. It's very hurtful and hateful. But you don't got to be like that. If you want justice for being mistreated, you better have some proof. Well, I got a little proof. Because I got the clothes I wore in a bag when I was working with that asbestos. I got ductwork from that job, piece of ductwork in a bag. This got asbestos on it. I got the lady's name and address. and we can go right on over there and confirm with her that it was done, and they can look at the job and prove it nice and easy. Matter of fact, they had me take one of them fucking vacuums, and I believe it was that vacuum right there, and vacuum the ductwork out with asbestos and coal shit in it. I believe it was that little vacuum right there, in fact. So that vacuum has any asbestos on it? We'll know. My lungs have any asbestos on it. I got it from here, and that ain't no lie. But this chapter is almost over. And does anybody know I put all this stairwells up, I hung that flag, I put stuff there, I put all that there. I built that bathroom. I put these shelves up and organized stuff here. I was always staying busy, taking care of this place. For what? To get worn out and abused and misabused. Sometimes it ain't fair. Sometimes it ain't fair. But there's me. That's little Richard Limburger. That's Jason Helton. That's Allison Burris. She was the office manager. That's Jason Johnson. He had me do the asbestos stuff. He was the field supervisor. Doug Miller was here at the time, but this is Dave Hancock, who gave me a rash of hell for many years. And eventually I forgave him, and we got along somewhat, but I believe he was a phony. And that's Rosemary Vance. She's about aloof on everything. That's Larry Vance. He had the biggest ego you could ever find. He was the owner of this place. And that's me, the hardest worker this place has ever had. And did I mention that everybody that worked here? There was Donnie Henderlight. There was Les Roberts. There was Chris Cornett. There was Eric, whatever his name was. There was a big old boy named Jason or Josh. Then there was another boy, Josh Miller and Doug Miller. Well, you know what? When I got here, there was Donnie, Les, Chris, Eric, Bill, me, Dave Hancock, Miss Kathy, and Danny Browning. Out of all them people, you see who's talking to you? Just me. They fired everybody within 2 years of me being here and worked me by myself because I was such a good worker, I reckon. They got rid of all of them, one at a time. Get rid of them quick. But they kept my ass for some reason. And for some reason, I'm closing this place down like a fool. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow. Because I ain't working under the table for no cheap little $13.90 an hour. It cost me over $15 just to come out here and go back home every day now because gas is so high. And that's a fact. That is a fact. I'm paying out $15 a day. When I did that junking out last week, Jason kept the company trailer and the company vans. And I had to use my own vehicle and my own trailer and my own gas. And I spent over 80 something dollars last week getting gasoline to haul all this junk out of here. And these people here, if you lived on top of the other side of that hill, 2 blocks away, they charge you $80 trip charge to go to your house. If you lived in Mountain City, which is like 35, 40 miles away, it's a $110 charge. And if you go to Chilhowie, it's a $95 charge. That's just, they're going to get the money just for coming out there. Then they're going to charge you $92.50 an hour, I guess, or $92, $98, whatever the price is, according to if it's a holiday or after hours or what. But they got their money. They've made a lot out of me. I have probably, honest to God, put in over 2,000 heat pumps, furnaces and such. And you gotta figure that's over 2,000 that I've scrapped. I've had to scrap and break them down after I put them in throughout the years. And there's one year we did 13 geo systems in 1 year. We did 13 geo systems, and those averaged on the low about 30,000 a piece, and on the high probably about 120,000. But yeah, did that in 1 year, and boy, I tell you what, I've made this place buku money. I guarantee you. Me and Dave has made this place, I'm gonna guesstimate, in my 15 years, I probably have been involved in the profits of over $25 million in 15 years. In 15 years, I'm going to guesstimate 20. I'll just be very, very conservative, and I'll say 13 million. 13 million. No, I'll say 10 million. 10 million. 13, somewhere between 10 million and $25 million that this place has made off of my back. And they want to send me away broken and broke. Ain't that a shame? And they don't want to help me. Of course not. It's not what they're here for. They're here to make money and profit. But you got to obey all the laws when you do that. If you don't obey the laws and you break the laws, then you're probably looking at some consequences that you'll have to pay. But that's the end of my story about advanced heating and air conditioning. And if anything else pops up that I'm going to tell you about it, I will. But we may have to go to the judicial system to take care of this. We'll see. We shall see. Anyway, y'all take care and don't get screwed over by a bunch of people that are out to get you. Don't be like me. Just ain't right. Just ain't right to be like me. Be smart. Take care. Y'all have a blessed day. Peace out.